Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the What the Football channel. It is the BH and Scrubber Show. And today's show, we're going to be covering the free agency. We have not been replaced. So we're still here. Doge hasn't gotten to us. We're still good. We're not downsizing. We're keeping full crew here, folks. So welcome back to the show. Like I said, we're going to talk about the free agency. A lot of stuff has happened, maybe not as much as last year, but still a few things that have happened. I'm excited about it. Actually, the year kicked off Wednesday, March 12th at 4 o'clock was the official NFL start of the year. So we are excited here at What the Football. And BH, what do you think of all the shenanigans going on out there in the free agency?
Well, it's like usual. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, and you said we were talking about it earlier. Not as nuts as last year.
Hmm.
Man, oh man, throwing together a team, wondering who the hell we're going to get. And now we brought back a lot of those same guys are coming back, which is good. There's familiarity, and so because they were all 1 year deals,
Hmm.
and so yeah, I'm glad. A big blast of signings today to sort of fill out the roster. But I guess first and foremost, the trades, kind of surprising, both of them. I mean, Debo Samuel wasn't on my list, and man, Laramie Tunsil was on nobody's list. Let's put it
Yeah.
that way. Pretty much kind of shocked everyone. Texans are ready to move on, which is fine. I think that's a big one. I'm happy to have him. I heard today that the John Keim said pretty much the plan is Wiley goes to guard.
Okay.
Yeah, so Brandon Coleman. So now we have two really good tackles. Get Brandon Coleman over there. Wiley shifts in where I think he can do better. Now not out there on the edge. And he knows the system. He knows the blocking scheme. He'll have a little work to do, but he'll come into camp 100% with tons of time to get ready to
Yeah.
know his role. And the same with Brandon Coleman,
Yeah.
who'll have to switch. So, I mean, overall, man, I mean, I'm sad about Sam Cosmi being out. He is going to come back, but that's a timetable that we really don't know.
Hmm.
So, considering that, this is kind of huge because,
Yeah.
that O line, that was our best guy. And so now I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, the Debo signing is I think it's a plus signing. The fifth rounder, I'm not too down on that. It's just a fifth rounder. I think the good thing about Samuel is he fits kind of our wide open offense. He's kind of guy that has to get schemed open. Our offense is that kind of deal. That's kind of what we do. And the way I was thinking, hey, if you can scheme Zach Ertz open, I think you can scheme Debo Samuel open.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, but I like them both. I mean, you put those two things together with our offense, and I'm sure other things are coming down the road. I think those are both two good things for us.
Yeah.
And even though Debo last year did have an admittedly down year, if you took
Hmm.
Debo's stats from last year, he would have been our number two receiver. So that's
Okay.
another way to look at it because
Yeah.
we had a lot of guys do good things, but no one really rose up. But what I'd like to know from your standpoint, and we know the Laramie Tunsil deal was we got a really good guy, man, but that was a lot of draft picks, man.
It
What did
was.
you think?
Plus the money. Seemed like we were giving up a lot. They said what, 21 mil or something?
Yeah, I think we must absorb his contract. So
Yeah.
yeah, and that's
So
um, but for I mean, yeah, it's still a lot of money, but for like frontline tackles with this new season coming up, it's probably a deal. So you know what
yeah.
I mean? It's hard to
Yeah.
get those numbers in your head sometimes when they're throwing money around the way they are. But you're right though. A lot of money and second
What
and
a
fourth.
third round for this year
Yeah.
and a
And
second and a fourth for next year?
yeah. Now
Ouch.
this year's not too bad because um we did give up a seventh rounder. We had two, so we gave one of those up. But
Oh
for me,
yeah.
a seventh rounder is like we get 15 undrafted free
And we
agents.
got that seventh from the Broncos.
Yeah, and so it's not. I mean, at the seventh round, you can get good undrafted guys. But the one good thing was we did get the fourth this year. So basically this year we just swapped the third and fourth. We moved about 50 spots. So
Okay.
it's not the worst, but man, next year's second and fourth,
Yeah.
that's something. So yeah, we paid a premium, but without a doubt it's an upgrade. It's
They're
something that's
shooting for the Super Bowl this year. It's worth it,
well,
because that's a
yeah.
pretty stout front line. You got Tunsil, Allegretti, Biadasz, and then, like you said, Wiley, and then you'll have Brandon Coleman on the other end. That's a pretty good offensive
Yep.
line, better than what we've had. And they've, most of them have already gelled together, especially Biadasz and Allegretti sitting next to each other. So, yeah,
Yeah. So
good.
we will have a stout offensive line, and Larry Tunsil's played left tackle his whole life. It's not a big deal for him. He'll
Yeah.
know, he'll work the scheme. So, anyway, that's good.
I
Well,
wasn't so sure about Debo either, but it is what it is. I think he's really flexible. Like you said, he can do the jet sweeps. He's almost like he could do running back kind of stuff. So
yep,
to me, it's worth it if his numbers will improve this year. So
yep. His numbers will true. Keep his head on. He's a very excitable guy. Everything I've read is he's a good teammate, and everyone likes him. But we've seen, he.
yeah,
Hey, I tell you what, though, our kicker and our holder,
yeah,
they better get there. Yeah, don't go out missing 3 field goals because Debo is going to go off.
that's right. That's why I forgot about that.
He went up and just punched that guy.
Yeah, he did.
So, hey, we felt that way. I mean, Debo's just
Yeah.
like one of us, man. Like, what are
Yeah.
you doing? 3 field goals, an extra point? Boom.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anyway.
Poor
he's
Zane Gonzalez. We got Zane Gonzalez back.
Zane's back. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. So,
And
man,
Tress.
we got Tress, which I'm really happy about. Let's go with some of those guys, fill-in
Yeah.
type of guys. We got Sheldon Day came back.
Yep.
Diedrich Wise. Michael Dieter,
Yep.
our center, came back. And then Jeremy McNichols. So these are sort of our regular backups or kind of our filler kind of guys.
Mhm.
And I'm glad to have them back. You got to have people like that. And they know the scheme.
Yep.
You know,
Keeps
they're-
consistency.
It sure does.
And Noah Brown.
That was I was wondering what was going to go on with receiver because really, didn't we just have 2 receivers? I mean, at the signed, I think. Oh no, maybe 3 because we do have Debo, Terry, and McCaffrey.
Right.
But after that, it's all
Noah Brown and KJ Osborne.
okay. Good, yeah. A little surprised that it was KJ instead of Olamide Zaccheaus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who knows? Those things might, there's still time. Things are still being ironed out. Maybe there's some discussions.
Yeah.
They certainly need more bodies. I mean,
Yeah.
to fill this out for camp and stuff. So,
Yeah.
I was happy to see Marcus Mariota come back.
Yes.
Oof, that was cool. I was kind of wondering about that. We talked about if he was testing the waters. Maybe he was a little bit, but I think he was very happy to be here. He expressed that he really enjoyed his, the season. He likes working. He likes the quarterback room a lot. So I'm glad he's back.
Yeah, and he got paid.
He got paid
another $8 million to really not do a whole lot. I mean, he
Oh, really?
made good money last year for not doing a whole lot.
Yeah, he came in a little bit on one game, and then he played lights out against Dallas. You can't ask any more from a backup.
Yeah.
I mean, when a lot of times backups, when they're called in, they crap the bed.
Yeah.
They've been sitting there that whole time, and then they fizzle out. So
Yeah.
that was good. I was kind of surprised. I was happy that we got John Bates back.
Yeah.
But man, they gave him a 3-year, $21 million deal.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, we always liked him,
Yeah.
but that speaks volumes to how they believe in him, don't you think?
Yeah. It was funny when we were talking the other day, all he's got to do is mostly block and catch 5 or 6 catches during the whole season. They just have to be that first down on 3rd down and 20 or something, but yeah, I'm glad to have him back. I think he can be more. I think he can catch. We've seen him make some pretty incredible catches. Now we've seen him fumble and drop a couple, but I think he can be really, really good. I'm glad they kept him and Zach Ertz, of course.
Yeah.
So he's coming back for one more year. That's good. He's getting a little older, but he's a sure thing. So I really like what he did last year too.
Yep, I do. I like our tight end room, and I think Bates' value is a lot like with Debo. He fits this kind of a wide open offense. It's not just blocking for running and blocking for passing, but you got to block and you got to be out in space because we
Hmm.
do screens, we do jets, we do bubbles. Jaden breaks off running. You
Yeah.
got to. It's one thing to get out in space. It's another thing to locate a guy in space and take him down. It's very crazy and confusing. A lot of guys aren't good at that. I
Right.
think that's what makes John good. He when he's out there on the flat, he sizes it up. He knows who's coming, and he takes him out. He does a great job, and he stands up blockers. Man, he does fairly good one-on-one against defensive linemen.
Hmm.
Once he gets on them,
Yeah.
they might get around him, but once he gets on them, he does a good job of holding them up.
And we
So,
still got Ben Sinnott because he's a rook.
yep,
All right. So that's
yeah, Ben
rounding out the
Sinnott.
tight end room.
Yeah, and that's a great tight end room, and I personally expect big things from Ben Sinnott. I think he's going to make a big step. Jer'Zhan Newton's going to make a big step, and even Brandon Coleman, who played pretty good. I expect
Yeah.
him to make a big step in his set. All three of those guys in their second year. I expect to see them
And
pop.
hopefully Luke McCaffrey too.
Oh,
Man, I
McCaffrey,
felt
another
like he
one.
was totally underutilized last year.
Totally. Yep. Yep. He was. So I know another thing too. Quickly is I was thinking about that. A lot of our guys had done things who were like he was McCaffrey was a quarterback. He was only a receiver for 2 years.
Hmm.
Brandon Coleman lived in Germany. He played soccer. He didn't really do American football till later, got to high school. So, these guys
Okay.
are a little late to the party in their development. Ben Sinnott, every review I read of him going back was a guy. The main thing they said was this guy does a lot of things well, but he's going to need some people to take time with him. He's going to need development. Almost everyone said that, but they said the
Okay.
team willing to develop him is going to end up with a real good football player. He has that kind of potential. So everyone seemed to think he needed a lot more, maybe route development, maybe some play recognition for blocking. I don't know why, because he did do a lot of things in
Hmm.
college. I mean, he a lot of fullback, and so he didn't really have to just do one thing. He had to do a lot. So anyway, I expect great things from them, and so that I'm glad they're all back. Now we lost. I was really surprised that we lost Jeremy Chin. I really,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
I thought he was coming back. That really, I don't
Ouch.
know. I don't know if they got surprised. Maybe Jeremy's agent, they were asking for a little more or they wanted a multi-year contract. I don't know what happened, but that was a disappointment for me, man.
Well, we gave Will Harris, I think, a 2 year.
Yep. 2 year,
But
eight
do you think
million.
Chin wanted a 3 year or
Or more money. I
more
don't
money?
know.
I
And then
don't
the
know.
flip side of it is, as good as he was, they didn't see him in their plans. I don't know why. I
Yeah.
mean, I thought he played lights out. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah.
Will Harris to me is I think I don't see him as an upgrade to Chin. He played a lot. He played the same position, so I see him as pretty much a kind of a decent replacement. But I'm not.
Yeah.
Nothing against Will Harris. I'm glad we got him, but I'm not
Yeah.
thrilled. It wasn't like we went out and got someone really good and said, "Oh, well, hey, fantastic." So we'll see. Will Harris is a commander. Let's see what happens to him. Now, another new commander is Jonathan Jones, the corner from
Yeah.
New England, who, yeah, he's a stud. Matter of fact, he had a
Yeah.
down year last year, but I looked at his prior years. Man, he was a stud. Man, he's done really good. But the main thing is St. Just is gone, right?
Yeah. He's out of
Michael
here.
Davis is gone. And there's no word on Noah Igbenogany. He may be gone. So we needed someone. So I think Jonathan Jones is going to be our left side corner. We'll
Okay.
keep Sainer still back in the slot where he belongs, where he can do the most damage. And
Lattimore.
Lattimore, our boy, he'll be on the right side. I mean, to me,
Yeah.
going from the beginning of last season
Yeah.
to these three guys this year is like, whew, it's like night and day.
Okay.
Night and day. I mean, just having upgrades all over. I mean, St. Just, Michael Davis, man, they just weren't it,
Yeah.
at all. So
No.
Yeah, I'm glad. Now, nothing against them personally. I'm glad they moved on. We still need more depth in that room, though, right? I don't see any other corner, so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, we lost them. I think St. Jude signed with the Chargers.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. We
Yeah,
lost Derek Forrest too.
yeah, that was kind of a drag, and for some reason, there's another shocker. They they utilized him when we had an injury. He came in and played, and played really well. And he was never part of their plans. I
Yeah.
have to be honest, I was shocked by it.
Yeah.
I don't know why, man. I thought the guy did really well for us, but I wish him all the luck in the world because I think he's a really good football player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got rid of John Allen. Good
Yeah.
news if you ask me.
Yep.
And so he got replaced basically by uh Kinlaw.
Yep.
So that's a pretty good replacement there. We paid some good money for him. Was it a
Yep.
3-year contract?
3 year, 45 million.
Yeah.
And he's 3 years younger than Allen. He
Okay.
pretty
And a
good
couple
against the
million less a year too.
Yeah, 5 million less. Allen got
Yeah.
60. So yeah, and he's good. He's a little bit. He was better. He had a better season against the run. His whole thing is his whole career. Javon Kinlaw started with nothing but injuries. He just had bad luck. But he played 17 games in his last year with San Francisco. He played 17 games with the Jets. And then the other good thing about this guy, he must be pretty good. I mean, people must like him because when Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator from San Francisco, went to New York, he brought, he signed him.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Adam Peters knows him because he was with San Francisco when they
Right.
drafted. So he
Okay.
knows him. So despite, I mean, we need a good player. Let's hope he can really fill in and be a big part of what we do, but at least from a fit and the kind of person, the kind of people we want on our team, he seems to have passed some tests. Like, hey, this guy, he's a good fit. He's going to work with us. So I'm glad to have him, and he's younger too. So
Nice. Nice.
yeah,
Who else?
yeah.
Oh, I heard there was a thing that Sadiq Charles, who I guess had retired when he was with Tennessee, and now he's putting himself back out there again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
So,
yeah,
yeah,
there,
Sadiq, he just sort of disappeared.
yeah, he
Well,
did.
we got a defensive tackle, Eddie Goldman.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Eddie Goldman did the same thing.
Yes, that's
He
right.
retired for 2 years
Yeah.
and then put himself out there. Atlanta picked him up. He played for Atlanta last year. And now we've got him.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, whatever. I don't know. So that's
Maybe
good.
they
I mean,
just didn't like who they're playing for and just said, "Fuck it, I'm going to retire."
yeah.
And then not really get rid of me,
Hey,
and then
remember
put
me?
themselves back out there again. So I like it.
Yeah.
I'd take Sadiq back.
Sure. Why not, man? Yeah, for a good, solid backup. No kidding. Yeah,
Yeah.
just don't put him at tackle. Just put him at guard.
Oh, put him
Yeah.
at guard.
He's still pretty young. So that's, we got some good depth at
He
the
is. He's
defensive
only like
tackle.
26.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he must have been 20 when he got drafted.
Yeah.
Man, that guy, he seems like he's been around like 8 years, but yeah, we'll see. I had not heard that. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Let's see. They got rid of Michael Walker, our linebacker.
Yep.
Cornelius Lucas. I hated to see him go, but he went to the Browns.
Yep.
Of course, we talked about Chin went to the Raiders. Uh, that's about all I got. Like leaving so far.
Yeah.
Pretty fluid out there. So anything could happen in the last couple hours.
Yep. And even, yeah, some of our sort of past guys are still kind of sitting out there right now.
Yeah.
Like we talked about, what's his name? Our Olamide Zacchaeus is kind of still out there. So, we'll see. Oh, and another thing is Andrew. I don't know if we talked about Andrew Wiley did a restructure.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. Gives him some money, kind of gives us a little, I don't know. No, they want some money to sign someone, or who knows? They might carry 20% of that cap space over to 2026.
Yeah, we
You're
got
allowed to
plenty
do
of
it.
cap, so
You don't have to spend all of it, if you don't need to. So Yeah. So yeah, good job, man. I think overall, I know Dante Fowler's out there.
Yeah,
Even Igbenogany's out there.
yeah.
So, they may be part of the plan. We're not done, but
All
I'm
right.
sure they're looking at a lot of people. Also, we got the June 1st. A lot of people after June 1st going to let guys go. Just cuts, straight up
Mm.
cuts. And so those guys will just be out there for free. And there could be some bodies there that we like.
Yeah, yeah. I like the fact, some people put themselves out at free agency and no one picks them up. That actually gives our front office better leverage for them to bring them back. Or you want to come
Exactly.
back, no one picked you up. Well, we'll take you back, and you don't want to shit on them, but you want to get what you can out of them. You want to come back and play for us. This is how much we're going to give you. You know,
Yep.
you didn't do so great. And to me, that's good. I mean, I would think anybody, why wouldn't you want to play for Washington?
Yeah,
Why would you
exactly.
even put yourself out there like that? That's
Yeah.
crazy because it makes you look bad. Because now if nobody picks you up and you come go, all right, I'll play for you. Oh, really?
Yeah. Right.
For a million less.
Sure.
Okay. But you're on a winning team, a great team. Even if you're not a winning team, it's not the Dan Snyder team. It's a
Right.
good team. So I don't know. I don't understand some of that. So
I
maybe
know.
people want to, like we talked about, maybe people think that they can get a better spot, play more. Maybe sometimes it's not about the money, but about
Yep.
your play time. They are football players. They love the game. And so maybe they're just trying to put themselves out there for a better spot on a roster. So I can
Yeah.
understand that.
Yep. And sometimes too, teams will tell a guy, they go, "Hey, man, we like you. You fit our organization, and but you go out there, go see
Yeah.
what you see." And then the agent will call back and say, "Hey, look, man, Cleveland offers, it's only a 2-year deal, but it's 4.5 million." And then Peters can go, "Well, it's more than we were going to pay him, but hey, we like him. Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it."
Okay.
I want to give the guy a chance to go out there, but it also works the other way.
That's a good way to look at it. So that's a good bargaining chip too.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
does work both ways in that sense.
That's
Very nice.
right. All right, man. Well, look, this is looking pretty good. I mean, I like it. It was
Yeah.
a little slow at first, but I think we've got the building blocks. There's still holes, and we still have the draft. We got undrafted free agents, and we got a lot of young guys coming back last year, like you mentioned. There's McCaffrey and a lot of draft picks that didn't
Mhm.
get a lot of playing time.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? There's a lot we got, so we kind of forget about those guys from last year. They're all coming back.
Mhm.
So they're going to get a chance to really solidify and get in there. So
Oh, we didn't
it,
even talk about. Did we talk about Bobby Wagner?
we didn't talk about Bobby. We just knew he was coming back.
Yeah, he couldn't say no. So he
Oh
got a one
man,
year, like 8 or 9 mil.
yeah,
I'm glad
I was
him and so who's the other linebacker there with him?
Luvu.
Yeah, Luvu.
Yeah, Luvu. I think he got a 2-year last year. Guys
Okay.
like Luvu, Eckler, got 2-year deals, so
Okay.
they were locked in. Thank goodness. So, but I was glad Bobby came back because man, he played
Yeah.
lights out. Man,
Yeah.
he was just tremendous for us. He was a big
Better than David
influence.
Mayo.
Oh my God! I know. See, people. Oh, Bobby, he's lost a few steps. I go, okay. Let's just hey, for 1 million we get David Mayo. Hey, let's do that. Let's go get Cole Holcomb. Yeah. Well,
Uh,
people are so dumb. I swear
yeah.
they're never happy. So yeah, Bobby's great, great leader, great player.
Yeah.
Got to have him. So I don't think he expected what happened last year. I know he was pleasantly surprised. So
Yeah. Nobody
just
did.
yeah, exactly. No one did. So
All right.
all right, man. Well,
I
that's
think that's
great.
everybody on my list
Yeah,
I'm
I
looking at
think
here.
we covered it. There's going to be a few stragglers, like we say, in the next coming weeks. There'll be a few
Yeah.
stragglers added on, and we'll talk about that later. Maybe coming up here, we got the draft coming up in over a month. We'll maybe in a bit we'll do a fantasy mock, not a fantasy, but a mock draft
Yeah.
for this draft. Kind of talk about the players that are coming. Do that in
Cool.
about 3 weeks or so from now.
Yeah.
Get out there, and so
Yeah.
yeah. All
Look forward
right,
to that, people. That'd be like a mock draft a little bit before the draft. Then we'll probably do a draft show. That, like
definitely.
B8 says, that's late April 24th or something, maybe.
Yeah.
And of course, we may or may not do, we've done it before, but do a schedule show, I believe, comes out in about the second week of May. We
Yep.
already know who we're going to play, but it would just be when.
Right. That would be good to see. Yeah, get to see how many primetime games we get.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to be primetime now, baby.
Yeah,
so
we
get
will.
ready. Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night. It's going to be crazy.
Yep.
So
Awesome.
right on.
Did
All
we
right,
cover
man.
it?
I think we did.
Okay. Well, I just want to say thanks to everybody. You guys are awesome. Come back in a couple of weeks when we do the mock draft. And PH, thank you so much. And thanks to the Commanders, all our fans. So,
Yep. Thanks, Scrub. Good show. Hey, we'll see you guys in about 3 weeks with the mock draft.